So how do you see the evolution of the horses between 4 and 8 years old in the main equestrian centers in the world? And what characteristics do you think are most valued in the formation process?
So I came for the first time last year, and I could see the 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 years old. And I discovered them for the first time. And I was quite impressed of the schooling, the way they grow, the way they breed the horses, the way they ride the horses. So after the first day, everybody was a little bit surprised with my European way to build. But after that, they understand my way of doing, and they were riding more fluently, and the horses grown up day by day. And what I think what the most important thing is that that each horse, each category of age needs to grow is in its own category. So I don't think it's good when you ride 4, 5 or 6 years, 7 or 8 years old in other classes than in their category, especially 4, 5 and 6 years old horses. For the 7 and 8 years old, they can ride any class, but for 4, 5 and 6 years old, they must be ridden, must be competing in their own category. That's my point of view.
Excuse me.
That's what we do in Europe. So, for example, if you have a 4-year-old, it's not allowed to ride him in another class than the 4-year-old class. For the 5-year-old, they're allowed to jump another class up to 110. And for the 6-year-old, up to 120. That's it. If they want to jump bigger, they must come to the secret for young horses.
And in your experience, what are the main strong points and challenges in the Brazilian breeding in compared to other countries, other main countries?
We can see here that the stallions are used all over the world. So they use the same stallions as in Europe. What is changing are the mares. And for me, the breeding starts with the mares. And we can see that there are a lot of really good mares. So I'm really, really impressed year by year, day by day, to see the changes of the young horses. Yesterday they were good, today they are very good, and I'm pretty sure that on Sunday, the final, they want to be super good.
How do you observe the evolution of the Brazilian horses in the international scenery? And have you seen progress over the last few years?
Yes, of course, because now Brazilian high-level teams got a really good team. You have really good riders. You have really good breeding. We could see you have Brazilian have medals in all over the world, and Olympic Games, World Championships. So they are really ready, and they're working on it. So now you have Stefan Barcha, Marlon Zonatelli, Rodrigo Pessoa, Pedro Venice, the Azevedo family, so really strong team.
In your opinion, the horses bred in Brazil, are they ready to compete in high level outside the country? And what do you think is missing so that they can stand out more overseas?
I talked this morning with Caio Carvalho, who invited me here for the first time. And the problem here in Brazil with the winter and summer different with Europe. So the horses are changing year on a different way as Europe. So in my opinion, if the competitions, if the course designers, if the federation work all together to make the preparation a little bit more difficult, not at the beginning of the season, of course, but that you can end the season, for the young horses especially, at this time, because now I think in Brazil we are in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Yeah. No, correct.
No. So it's a little bit late because...
We're moving into second semester.
Yeah, because Lanaken, the goal is to go to Lanaken. And Lanaken is in September. So what I should do, if it's possible, is start the season a little sooner, that the horses can get ready today. So they are really close to the European level. Really, really close.
Okay. what factors do you believe limit the number of horses that get to the high-level sport in Brazil and overseas? And is the problem in genetics, in the formation, or something else?
No, I don't think it's a problem. It's not a problem from genetics. You just have to continue the schooling of the young horses and bring them to the high level step by step. But you Brazilian riders, Brazilian breeders, Brazilian owners, it's got that in the hand. Just go and do it. Try to do it.
What motivates you to participate in the competitions in Brazil, and what are your expectations in relation to the technical level of the Brazilian riders and rider combinations?
Like I said just before, when I came first year, last year for the first time, I just put the courses on my way to build, and all the lines I built with connected lines, and I asked the rider to go fluently. But the first day they couldn't reach. And they were talking to me and said, "What are you doing? We're not used to it. What do we have to do?" I say, don't ask yourself any questions. Just go. From one fence to the other, just go. Let your horse go. And then they said, yeah, maybe we can try. So they tried it. And day by day, they come to me and they say, "Man, you were right." So our horses are just relaxing more and more, and my goal is to give the horse the best chance to show himself the best on each jump. And I can say I'm quite proud of it, because I can see every day the difference. Day by day, the horses are changing, the rider are changing their mind, and my goal is to work on the rider's mind, not on the horse mind.
Do you see significant differences in the way young horses are prepared for big competitions in Brazil and compared to other countries?
Since last year, yeah, there's a big difference since last year, because now I came this year and I see a huge difference, because the riders knew I was coming, so they trained, and the difference is on the ring. And yeah, it's a real pleasure for me to see that they were expecting that. So okay, the arena is bigger than last year, sorry, but they worked, they trained, and the difference is there. We can see that. So the first day I didn't build so high, because the ground was pretty new. So I had a little doubt, but we're working on it, and the ground is getting better and better. And today the horses were jumping, yeah, fantastic. And it's a real pleasure for me to see that the horses are growing on this kind of course, and the riders too. And I really like the way they're jumping. I like to see young horses jumping on courses. Of course, I like to build big course, big Grand Prix. I do that, but this is another sport. And but I'm really pleased. I feel good.
What tips would you give to professionals and owners in Brazil who look to have their horses competing and winning overseas?
I should say, have a schooling system more precise, more focused. If you want to get the horses ready, try to find a way to make them ready by schooling in specific young horses classes. And if the goal is to get the rider ready, do the same, schooling for the young riders. Last year, I was in Santa Amaro, and I met a young guy called Michel. And I asked Erika, my assistant, "Who's this guy?" So he called Michel. He was riding for the first time his 150 Grand Prix. They said, "Introduce me to this guy, please." So I talked to him. I said, "How old are you?" He said, "I'm 15. I said, "Goat, this guy is so good." So do it. Keep on growing the riders, keep on growing the young horses. The way you want, the good way, just please be more precise what you want. Just this.
how do you see the future of our national breeding, considering the globalization of, in the market and the genetic blend?
I don't know a lot about genetic.
Okay.
I prefer to see the results. I don't really expect anything about the genetics because we tried to mix the best stallions with the best mare and so on, and it's just missed. But keep on doing this way. Just keep in mind that the horse needs to grow, and then you'll be the best.
And the last question is, in your evaluation, what are the most important qualities in a modern sport horse to reach the top? And how can you develop those qualities throughout the years?
Since I'm course designer 20 years ago, I can see the evolution of the breeding. So we used to use certain distances in connected lines and combinations, but years after years, it became bigger and bigger and bigger. So the evolution of the sports asked the horses to go fluent forward. And that's what the breeding are doing too. The breeders are doing. So they breed horses with blood, with strength, and not tall horses. So they need to canter. They need to give themselves forward. So we, course designer, need to adapt us to this system. And my way of building is fluent. I want them go. So even for big classes, I just want them go. I don't want to hurt the horses. This is so important for the welfare. I don't want to hurt the horses. I don't want to either hurt the riders. It's not my goal. But I want the horses feel good on the course. So the best way to see if the horse felt good is the way it's coming out. If it's coming out the ring with breathing like hell, or the eyes coming out of his head, his hair going everywhere, say, no, that was not a good course. So if you see the horse walking out with his nose on the sand and the rider relax, you say, I achieved it.